Hey everyone, it's Peter from Rock Daydream Nation, and I've got a special guest to the channel, Phil Campbell from Campbell and the Bastard Sons, guitarist for Motörhead. How's it going, Phil?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Not too bad, not too bad. Phil, the Bastard Sons, has done 4 albums and an EP since 2016, and now touring down under. Life is good?
Life is busy, yeah. Yeah, we sort of everyone wants a piece of us at the moment, so it's difficult getting a decent break. But it is what it is. We'll at the end of this year we'll probably take a few weeks off and then start on the next album, I think.
Great.
But it's been a fine couple of years for us, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Are the band dynamics interesting when you have 3 of your sons in one band?
Well, it's fairly unique, I think, yeah. But they just, I just think of them as like, obviously I think of my kids, but like when we play, and it's just playing with like 3 incredible musicians. You know, they're so tight, and I'm the worst musician in the band, I'm happy to say. So
Yeah, I'm sure that's not the case. But look, post Motorhead, did you ever envisage that you would be leading an outfit with your sons?
no, well, we actually got together uh, about 2 years before Motorhead finished, before Lemmy passed
Okay.
away.
Yep.
I had quite a bit of downtime for a change with Motorhead, and we it was my eldest son's birthday, Todd, and we hired a band and that, and me and his brothers and their friend Neil Starr got up and did a few songs, and it was quite enjoyable. So I think we did a couple of gigs after that, just doing covers, and then when Lem passed away and we dissolved Motorhead, I didn't do anything for 4 months. So I was going to retire basically. When my boys said, "Oh, come on, Dad, let's get up off your butt and let's do some gigs." So we did some. They were mostly covers then. We just call ourselves Phil Campbell's All Star Band then, to give ourselves a name.
Right.
And then a bit further down the line, one of my boys, I'm still not sure which, came up with the Bastard Sons. I'm still not sure which one of them came up with that, but then we took things a bit more seriously then, and we started knuckling down, writing our own material and everything. And it's gone. We've been building things up, and it's gone great right up to this day.
Do you think it was good therapy for you, Phil? I mean, because you were part of a family, the Motorhead family, for 31 years, and the passing of Lemmy would have been, I mean, it was absolutely tragic for everybody. Getting into a band again, do you think that was very therapeutic, just to get back out there and do what you do best?
Yeah, yeah, it was, and it is. But we finding ourselves. Well, I am really. We're so busy now. We're playing nearly all the time, you know, and I'm not getting much chance to relax with my wife and stuff. But I'll find the time somewhere, I guess. But
Absolutely.
it's better to be busy than not busy.
Indeed, indeed. So Neil Starr was the original singer, and then Joel Peters
Yeah.
has taken over vocals over the last couple of years. He's got a big set of pipes, Phil. How did you first come across Joel?
When Neil left, we just asked for people to send in some tapes and stuff, and Joel was the best, and we asked him to send in some more tapes, and they were good, and then he came down to a studio, big studio we rented for the day, and we met him and tried out like that. And the fact he lived the closest to us as well had nothing to do with our decision. But I don't know, he was really good. He's got a brilliant voice. Yeah. So Neil was a great singer, mine. Neil Starr. You know,
Absolutely.
yeah. They're both great singers, but I think Neil wanted to do other things with his life. You know, he had his finger in many pies. So yeah, but it's all worked out fine. We'll try and do another album now, get it out into 226.
Great.
I think.
Look forward to seeing that. With the audition tapes, I mean, you would have been swamped with, tapes just to join get an audition. What particularly stuck out for Joel? Was it like a tonality? Was it a particular type of voice type that just that's good?
Yeah, I guess the tonality is the main thing. I didn't want any. I mean, the boys listened to the bulk of the tapes, and then the ones that I mean, some would, what I've been told, was just a joke. Like, some people just go. I mean, I haven't got time to go through hundreds of them, but the boys were sort of sifting through them for me, and then the ones which were pretty decent, then we'd all listen to them. But yeah, it's got to be a tone, and I didn't want a guy just screaming all the time. I didn't want a guy singing too soft all the time. And I think Joel just hit the nail on the head for us, for this band now.
Yeah, fantastic. What are sort of singers that you gravitate to, Phil? I mean, what are your favourite rock singers?
Big question. I know Paul Rodgers, obviously. Freddie Mercury. What can you say about Freddie? He's incredible.
Yeah.
Well, you put me on the spot now. There's so many.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there's a bit of a Queen connection, isn't there? Like, I noticed was just going through this little album, Motorhead Bad Magic, and I noticed that Brian May was on the album.
I pestered Brian for months to play on that one, and he kindly found the time in the end to spend an afternoon doing a solo for us. I was really pleased when all that came together.
Yeah, indeed.
He's a busy man, let me tell you, Brian May. Super busy.
He's got his fingers in a lot of pies, for sure, like yourself. So you were with Motorhead for 31 years, 32 and 16 albums. Tell us about the very first time you ever met Lemmy. What was that experience like?
Well, it was brief. I was 12 years old, and I went to see Hawkwind, and he came out into the foyer after the show, and he signed my program. I was just 12 years old. So if somebody had said to me that night, you're going to be in a world famous band with this guy for over 30 years, I'd say you're dreaming. I tell people that because it just goes to show strange things happen, And the time after that was when my band Persian Risk supported Motörhead on their last UK show with Brian Robertson. We were the support band down in Cornwall. So we went into his dressing room and hung out with him for a while. He was really cool. So they were the first two times before any audition stuff.
To a person that's never met Lemmy, how would you describe him? Is that an easy task to describe to somebody that has ever met Lemmy? This is Lemmy.
Yeah, he's always reading. He's kind of intellectual, but not in an intellectual sort of way. He's very knowledgeable. He's not stupid. He doesn't suffer fools gladly. He got a great sense of humor. Loves rock and roll. Loves good music. Loves good music. He's an honest guy. Like he'll do a lot for you. He's just a unique bloke, really. I think him and Little Richard just about summed up rock and roll. It's pure rock and roll, them too.
Yeah. Do you think some of the mythology of him being the wild man, the hard drinking man, the partying man is a little bit overstated, or maybe it's just spot on?
I think it's spot on, most of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he managed to survive it.
Yeah.
Something else killed him in the end. Not just his not his partying ways or anything. You know, he just got unlucky.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but he was great, and he would never affect his gig. I think there was one time in San Francisco, somebody gave us all some really strong grass, and we were all smiling around the stage for this one little gig. But that's about the only time. Otherwise, like we were always all bang on.
So you've never seen him, not make the gig. He's always made the gig every time,
Yeah,
all the time.
yeah, yeah.
Hey, going back, you and Wurzel got the nod for the twin guitar duties from Orgasmatron. Deep down, were you okay to be sharing duties? Did you really want to be just the single guitarist, or you were okay just initially doing a twin guitar attack?
Well, going from a semi-pro band into joining Motörhead, I was quite happy, just being in the band.
Yep.
And me and Wurzel, we did work well together. We had totally different styles, but like when it came to solo time, he would automatically know if it was this should be mine or his, and it was like a kind of telepathic sort of vibe. But yeah, we had great times with Wurzel. Another amazing bloke.
Yeah.
But I think he had enough in the end for some reason. I'm not sure of his exact thinking, but I'm not sure. But he decided to leave in the end.
Yep.
So then I said to the boys, look, before we grab anyone else, I said, I think we can manage. We sound great as a 3-piece. I said, and if we don't, believe me, I'll be the first one to say we need to get someone else in. So we had a rehearsal one day. We did like 4 or 5 songs and it sounded great, and we just stayed like that then.
There's something about it in the energy of a 3-piece, isn't it, Phil?
Yeah, you get more money as that way as well.
Of course, other than that. But no, just a musical dynamic. I don't know whether it makes you play harder or you've got that sort of more locked in. Is that something that you found? Especially with the final lineup. It sounded like you were really locked in, the 3 of you.
Yeah, you kind of have to fill in the gaps now here and there when they appear, but sometimes gaps are good.
Yeah.
So, and you're limited to some extent, but as long as you've got the energy and the power and the conviction of what you're writing and playing, it's fine. You've got to believe in the music to start with, and it's got to come from inside, and then you should be okay then.
What was Lemmy like in the studio? Was he kind of a roll the sleeves, let's get on with it, fast operator, or was he quite meticulous and more measured?
Bit of both, actually. He would, if he wanted to go to a strip club, he'd say, "Oh, well, I'll finish that bit tomorrow then." And other times, he'd be there till 3 or 4 a.m. But he wanted to get things right. And sometimes we couldn't get him in the studio because he'd be too busy playing a pinball machine and things like that. It was unique, but it worked fine for all of us.
Yep.
That's the way we were. Simple as that, really.
Yeah, I guess as soon as that red light came on in the studio, he kind of switches on. Yeah,
but he cared deeply about Motorhead and the music, like as we all did. And his heart was 100% into the music as well.
Yeah. Lineup of Fast Eddie, Filthy Animal, and Lemmy. With you playing those songs, did you initially try to put your own stamp on it, or you just replicated it faithfully?
I never tried to replicate it faithfully. I just did it my way, really, without interfering with the song so much.
Yep.
So I can't play in anyone else's style. I can only play in my own style, basically. Yep. Some clever guitarists can play any sort of style. but I feel more comfortable just doing my own thing.
Filthy rejoined the band from 1987 for a 5-year run. What was he like?
He's a lunatic. He was a fantastic gentleman, but he was so funny. He's one of the funniest people I've ever met in my life. You just had to experience time with him, really. There's a black and white film out. I think it's called Everything Louder Than Everything Else. It's in black and white. It's about us touring in Europe. It was out on a VHS thing years ago. You can probably that'll sort of give you a good idea of what Filthy was like. He's making me smile now just thinking about him. He was incredible.
Yeah, and a very underrated drummer to boot.
Well, lots of people, yeah, he was underrated. He was unique as well. So unique is a big plus in my book.
Absolutely.
You know.
In respect of your next album, you got a sort of a sonic direction of is it going to be like the last album, or what sort of, have you got some sort of an idea of what it will be like?
Well, we've got about 8 songs roughly demoed. They're not on, nowhere near recorded, but just so we don't forget them, basically. And we're gonna go back, re-listen to them soon, and see what we think of them, and write some more stuff. And we'll take it from there.
Right.
The last album was so good. I mean, Todd's going to produce this one as well, but I'm not sure how it'll end up. But as long as we're happy with it at the end, I'll be fine with that. We could take a different direction in a song or two. I always think that's healthy.
Yep.
Stick up some saxophone in there, or some piano, or whatever, whatever it is, violin here and there. It just breaks things up, and it shows you're capable of other things. Like,
absolutely. Like even in the last lineup of Motorhead, there was a lot of different musical territory that you'd be covering. It wasn't straight ahead rock. I mean, you'd be doing stuff like Whorehouse Blues or Aftershock. That was very bluesy. Did you enjoy doing that? Is that something that you'd be exploring with the Bastard Sons? More of that bluesy type of guitar playing?
Yeah, like I think of myself primarily as a blues rock player. I'm not a heavy metal player.
Mm.
I don't consider myself to be heavy metal at all. But
yeah,
I love blues rock, and so yeah, we'll probably have some songs in them veins on this one. I'll enjoy that.
Yeah. But was that something that you really enjoyed with doing Motorhead? Did you introduce a lot of the material, that sort of eclectic material to Lemmy, like the bluesy stuff and maybe a bit of country, maybe a bit of a ballad? Was that something that you were introducing Lemmy to, or was like a collaborative?
Well, everything was a collaboration, but of course it was left to me to come up with a lot of the main riffs and everything. Lem would always have at least 1 or 2 of his own songs, like per album, like good rock songs, rock and roll songs, and if I came up with a bluesy riff, I knew Lem was going to love it anyway. And then we start building the songs from there.
Do you think Motorhead were kind of bluesy when it comes down to distilling it?
In a way, yeah. I think we were a rock and roll band. We weren't a heavy metal band. We were a loud rock and roll band, and blues band, really.
Yeah. But you were a band of the people because your audience was very cross-generational. Like you had punks and all sorts of different fans, and that was something that was quite unique, wasn't it?
Yeah, we had grandfathers bringing their sons, and their sons bringing their kids, and sometimes many times we'd have 3 generations of there in one gig, and it's just still happening now with the Bastard Sons. You know, we get the old Motorhead fans, and they're bringing like you can see down by the barriers like 6, 7-year-old kids, you know, and loving it. So we got to watch the language on stage sometimes. Then.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, your first solo album, Old Lions Still Roar, had some pretty high power guest stars on that. Alice Cooper and Rob Halford and Dee Snider. Was that an enjoyable experience for you, Phil?
Yeah, I wanted to get it out of my system. There's stuff I've written in hotels. The piano songs are stuff I've written on pianos, hotel pianos, and basically, and I just called up a lot of people I knew in the business, which I thought could fit into a certain track, and luckily they all said, "Yeah, great." I mean, I got Mark King from Level 42 playing bass on a track. You know, it's not showcasing his incredible talent, but you know, he plays really wicked bass on it, and you know, I was pleased with it. Yeah, I don't know if I'll do another one at the moment, but the band's keeping me busy right now. So
yeah, was that something that was always in the back of your mind, that you said you had to get it out of your system? So had that been in your mind for quite some time, that you'd like to do this?
Yeah, there was a bit in a magazine which we used to have lying around the studio. I think the album actually finally came out in 2018, and this magazine we found in the studio is from like 2003, and in an interview there it says I'm just getting ready now to start my solo album. That was 2003, so it took that long.
Well, I tell you, there's other bands that take a lot longer, Phil.
Yeah.
I don't think you've done too bad at all.
All right,
Phil. Just to sum things up, if you had to pick a Motörhead album and a song that you're the most proud of, and you would, you know, sort of give it to somebody to introduce them to your work with that band, what would be the album that you'd recommend, and the song as the starting point? And I'm talking about your era of the band.
definitely Bastards would be the album, and the song would probably be On Your Feet or On Your Knees, the first song on that album.
And what is special about that album that sort of resonates with you?
It just smacks you in the face constantly.
Good stuff. And with the Bastard Sons, what's the album you're most proud of, do you think kind of stands up?
Well, the new one I like. I like all of them. I like all of them, but I think the new one was Kings of the Asylum was closer to the sound, and the power and the production was just bang on for what we want this band to sound like. You know, Todd did a great job producing all the performances from the boys, the drums, you know, the sound of the drum kit, the sound of the bass, and the performances and the vocals and everything. It was just bang on, like, you know. So we're gonna have to work hard to do another one like that, but we're capable of it. We just got to make sure it happens.
Absolutely. So you're going to be doing some dates in capital cities, or fly down in only a couple of weeks, folks. So please catch it. In respect to the song list, what can we expect? A mix of Motörhead, old, the new, a smattering of all albums?
We're going to mix it up. We're doing a lot of our own material, you know, and I can't get away with not playing Ace of Spades and stuff. We'll throw a bunch of Motörhead songs in there as well, so everyone will go away really happy.
Fantastic. Well, Phil, it's been
Okay.
a pleasure talking to you, mate, and wish you good health and all the best. And looking forward to seeing you hit the down under. It's what has it been? 10 years? It's been a while, I think, since you.
I don't know how sure how many years. It's been a while, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Good to
my
hear.
friend, it's been a
All right.
pleasure.
All right. All the best, mate.
On
Cheers.
you. Bye bye.
See ya. Bye.
Bye bye.